Tragedy out of Elbert County. Two horses apparently executed, and there are no clues about the person responsible for the cold-blooded killings.
Now a community is seeking justice. Denver 7 Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski with our story tonight.
That gray one horse there is Laredo.
Dan Havens is hoping
It was a nice, comfortable riding horse.
someone out there knows something.
This was the Sunday before he died. He absolutely was part of our family.
By legal definition, you cannot murder a horse.
He was priceless.
But by virtually every other definition,
I wouldn't have sold him for any money in the world.
this appears to be a murder mystery. So tell me about that day.
When I arrived home from work, I saw my horse out here laying in the mud.
Dan immediately knew something was not right. That moment when you realized Laredo had a bullet hole in his head.
I brushed the mud away from his other side of his eye, and I saw the exit wound. And at that point, it was complete mind-blowing of that this actually happened.
And these graphic pictures confirm what Dan found, a bullet wound from close range.
I do believe that someone walked into my barn and put the gun to the head of my horse and shot him.
Execution style.
Execution style.
I guess the question is, why would anyone want to do something this heinous?
I wish I had an answer to that.
Sergeant Jonathan ROLLF is the guy trying to figure out who killed Laredo.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot to go on.
He's not only trying to arrest the gunman responsible for what happened inside this barn, he's also investigating what the heck is going on in Elbert County.
This is the second case within about the last 7 or 8 months, very similar in nature.
Laredo was the second horse since last October shot at close range and killed inside an Elbert County barn.
To think that somebody could put a bullet in a gentle creature's brain for thrill, that's a sick individual.
Veterinarian Dale Rice tried to save Laredo's life. Is there any doubt in your mind this was intentional?
Zero. This had to be intentional. They had to watch this horse go down. They had to see the blood come out of his ears. They had to get a thrill out of it. And that makes me mad.
It's a murder mystery with a few answers in place. They know it was a gun, a bullet, and it happened inside Dan Havens' barn on April 24th between 5 a.m. and 1 p.m. But they still don't know answers to the most important questions. Who and why?
We have 1,000 questions and no answers. Why this one horse? We just don't know.
He was looking in that horse's eye when he pulled the trigger. Think about that. Think about a person that can do that.
You heard the sergeant say right now they have very little to go on. So here's where you can help out. If you saw or heard anything unusual in Elbert County back on April 24th, Dan Havens is hoping you pick up the phone and call the Elbert County Sheriff's Office. He wants Laredo's killer held accountable. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.